Persistence. I'm your host, Abigail Wright, and today I'm talking with my friend Parviz Ghahramani. Parviz was born in Iran and raised in England and then moved to the U.S. about 7 years ago. He holds a doctorate of pharmacy, a PhD, a Master of Science in Statistics and Probability, and an MBA, and he's an affiliate professor for the University of Maryland. You don't happen to like school at all, do you? Parviz has received several national and international awards in the field of pharmaceutical research, and he's published more than 130 books and articles combined in highly credible journals and publications. With 22 years of experience of working in the pharmaceutical industry, he's been a senior executive for several companies. 7 years ago, he moved to New Jersey, where he worked for Forest Labs for about 6 years, which eventually became Allergan. 6 months ago, he started a new venture that has grown quickly to become a successful company called Inncelerex. Inncelerex provides strategic guidance to drug companies on their development projects, helps them assess early signals for efficacy and safety, and guides them in evaluating whether usually a really large investment on a specific drug project, given the available data, is justified. Along with their affiliate companies, they're developing new drugs for the treatment of diabetes and also innovative ways to deliver drugs to the human body that would transform existing and future treatments. Parviz also finds time to practice the martial art of Aikido and loves to ski. Having a passion for aviation and obviously learning, Parviz went through very high levels of training to achieve his commercial instrument-rated multi-engine pilot license. With many hours of flight under his belt, he flies small and large airplanes regularly, mixing it even into his business trips to fly himself and others to destinations. His philosophy in life is to be happy in everything and to provide an enjoyable environment for those around him. And I can honestly attest he does that very, very well. Parviz, thank you so much for joining us on The Piece of Persistence.
My pleasure.
Now, I'm curious, what is it that brought you into pharmaceutical research? What attracted you to it, and are you still attracted to it in the same way?
Yes, from the first day, what attracted me to pharmaceutical company and the research area was being able to innovate something which is new and it's not been created before, but also helps patients and improve treatments. And then in that sense, it was a mixture of both innovating and helping. And those are the two mixtures I would enjoy. And up to today, that has not been changed because every day there's a new innovation and also a new creation of an approach or a new compound or a new treatment, as well as being able to contribute to the society as well as improvement of patients' lives.
And it sounds like you guys are helping a lot with that.
Absolutely, and we hope to break through many more.
Nice. And how did you come up with the idea to form Inncelerex?
Inncelerex was also a time opportunity which happened after changes in my previous companies, which I had the opportunity to come out and do something new. I always wanted to do innovative drug treatments for fields which are very unmet medical need, particularly with diabetes, which has been tackled for several years or decades. And there hasn't been really a groundbreaking new treatment for diabetes. So the idea here was really to focus on new treatments for diabetes, which would be completely a different mechanism of action and have a successful degree of treatment for patients. And we all know that diabetes has been a big problem in advanced countries, as well as some areas in the Middle East as well. And therefore it would have significant impact in patients' life and people's life.
You have quite an international upbringing. Has living in so many different parts of the world enhanced your life?
Absolutely. I think different cultures that I've encountered, not the ones that I only lived, but wherever I went and experienced traveling or learning from people from different parts of the world, has always given me a new experience. And my approach is to see and analyze different cultures, see how they deal with the problems, issues, and with the ways of life, and therefore pick the best and most positive aspects of their culture and combine it to my personality and adapt it to become a new person every time that I encounter a new culture. So that has been a good success factor and an improvement subject for me.
Do you have any other habits or traits that you would attribute to your success and happiness?
I would list it as top priority for answering that would be really a positivity in life. Having a positive attitude about life, having a learning and open mind are the two things that helps each other for a person to grow.
That's really wonderful. I'm sure you're incredibly busy with your company. How do you find the time to devote to your other habits, passions, pursuits, and loved ones?
Working hard and achieving hard on the professional aspects is not mutually exclusive than having fun. You could have it combined sometimes. You could have innovative ways of creating both. Also, you could delegate to the right people around you. Therefore, by choosing the right colleagues and right environments and the staff, you could actually delegate a lot of work, as well as combining some of the aspects. A simple example is that learning and flying and building some hours on the flight as a pilot doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. I could be flying for a business at the same time as I'm basically enjoying the flight as well as learning from it.
What do you gain from your other pursuits? Aikido, flying, skiing, they're all very exciting passions.
First of all, these are new challenges that always it pushes the limits and boundaries that either the mind or the physical ability has got. Therefore, it takes you to the next level. Most of all, with the sports, a healthy mind is in a healthy body. Therefore, growing the health and promoting the health will also promote your job efficiency, professional aspects, as well as thinking. The other thing is that it gives you the time sometimes to switch off from focusing on one aspect while you're doing either a flight or a sports, and therefore you come back with a fresh mind and a fresh idea to the same problem had it in job. That's one of the greatest things that you could always get.
Nice. Where do you find the most joy in your life?
Definitely enjoy a working environment that I have been always, because of the innovation and research. And there's never a same thing happening repeatedly. Every time, even if it's a similar problem, the solution is different, depending on the case. Therefore, the advancements in the area is really always a new answer that you work it out. Nobody else has done it before. You may gain the experience, and that's a great thing to gain how approaches are working and what works best in certain problems. But a new problem requires a new solution, and therefore the person who can create it is probably only you, with the experience.
If you could help the world to understand one thing differently from your perspective, what would it be?
Definitely the first thing is keeping positive in any situation, because if you as a person lose the control, nobody else has got that control in that situation. In my view, if you want your own success to be defined, you should be in control of that situation and at least knowing what's happening. So positivity, and also is staying on course, but adapting where it's necessary. That would be the traits I would advise for anybody who wants to be successful. Lack of flexibility is not a trait that I would suggest, but is staying on course and being persistent, but at the same time being able to adapt things, take positive things, learn from it, and incorporate it to your traits and characteristics is a very important thing.
So you're constantly learning as you create your life every day.
Having an open mind, first of all, to see other ways of living, other ways of people doing the work, or other approaches to a problem. That's the first step. If you want to be learning from a new approach and applying it, first you need to understand how it's done, why it's done, and whether you can adapt it for yourself. I think having an open mind to see differences in approaches is the first step.
Do you have any other advice for us?
I'll go back to the positivity in life is the main gateway to any success. I would take positivity because that gets you to the stages where you can be open-minded to other people's approaches, to other suggestions, or even criticisms from others. Take that positively and make that a strength. I may not know everything in the world, but everybody knows everything in the world. And therefore, by listening to them, being an open-minded person and being able to take the positive comments or negative comments, but turn it to a positive aspect, that's the key to success.
Nice. Parviz, thank you so much for joining us today on The Piece of Persistence. I'm always happy to spend time with you, and I just feel so lucky to know you, and I'm really happy to be able to share you with everyone today.
Thanks for the opportunity.
And thank you for joining us on The Piece of Persistence. Did you know that every review, every share, and every rating goes a really long way in helping us share The Piece of Persistence? So do us a favor. If you like today's episode, give us some love with your ratings and your reviews, and share us with a friend. If you want to hear more, there's always an extended audio version of each of our episodes on our iTunes podcast or on your favorite podcast app. Thanks for following us on Facebook, liking us, and subscribing to find all the new ways to balance happiness and success in your life.
But if we've forgotten what really makes us sing and dance at night, it's the people around and our dreams that lift us up from underground.